this is Amber from Board Game Blitz, and today I'm going to try to quickly talk about all the games I played in April. So I log plays through an app called BG Stats, which links to the website Board Game Geek, where I have all my collection logged and can see all my plays through there. So in April I had 27 plays of 16 different games. 7 of them were new to me, so that's quite a few new games. But I'll quickly mention the not new games first. So I played Kites 5 times. I mentioned Kites previously, but it's a real-time cooperative card game. I also reviewed it on the podcast, so you can check that out for more details. But I played it at a higher player count. I played it at 2 players before, and it was easy to win, but like at 5 players, it was a lot harder to win. I also played Cross Clues 3 times. I've mentioned that a lot. I love that game. I also played The Loop again, which I'm not sure if I mentioned in one of these videos before because the last time I played was a while ago, but this was a review copy that I got. And Loop is a cooperative game themed around time travel, but it's like you're trying to prevent bad things from happening and you're playing cards to do different actions. And there's this cool cube tower that does the bad things, like the cubes go out into the different areas of the board, and that's like the bad stuff that can happen. I talked about this game on the podcast too, so you can listen to that for more details. But in this play that we played, we lost. I actually only had 1 turn in the game. So we lost after like everyone else had 2 turns and I had 1 turn and we lost. That was sad, but it was still fun. We played Flashpoint Fire Rescue, which I've mentioned a lot before, and we finally won. So my friend had been wanting to play it until we win. And so we had lost all those previous times that I mentioned, but this is another cooperative game where you're fighting fires. It's an older game. And so we finally won, yay! We also played MicroMacro Crime City Full House, which I've mentioned before. It's a like mix between a Where's Waldo and like a crime solving thing. I really like it. And then we played another game of Meat Master, which I mentioned last month, I think. It's a party trivia game where you're like picking different meats and trying to like guess if yours has the most calories or something. But we tried to play a little bit more strategically this time. So we still aren't very good at the game though. And then I only have 1 log children's game this month is Teddy's Colors and Shapes. I played a lot of other games with my kids, but like we didn't actually play by the rules. So we did 1 game of Teddy's Colors and Shapes. And then a couple more that aren't logged as new, but are kind of newish. So Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective Jack the Ripper in West End Cases. It has a really long title, but that one, we had played it a long time ago. The last time we played, I think, was 2018 or something. So we played another case, but Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective, I don't think I've talked about it before. It's a cooperative mystery game. You're basically kind of like Sherlock Holmes. You're like some of his associates or something trying to solve cases, and you're reading through this booklet with a lot of different passages. You have a map and some newspapers also that you can read through, and you're trying to solve a case, but it's kind of open-ended. You can go anywhere, like you can go on the map or look through a directory of names and you can go there and then it'll have a passage saying stuff, and sometimes there's red herrings and then other times you're like following the leads to solve the case. So I really like this. It's sometimes hard to do well because like at the end you compare your score against Sherlock and he does it perfectly. But I enjoyed it. We were just like all working together and looking at the map and looking through the directory and newspapers and stuff, trying to solve a case. And then I have a play marked under unpublished prototype because my friend brought over a unpublished game called Word Travelers. It's an upcoming word party game. So this is actually designed by the designer of Decrypto. That was interesting. Word Traveler. All right, now onto the new plays. So I played 4 plays of Phantom Ink. So my husband like heard about Phantom Ink and then bought it and immediately because we like word party games. So this is a team word party game, kind of similar feeling to Decrypto where you're trying to guess things and you don't have all of the information. But Phantom Ink felt a little more accessible than Decrypto. So in Phantom Ink, there's 2 teams and they're both trying to guess the same word. So there's one person giving the clues, the spirit, and then other people on the team each have a hand of question cards. Things like, if it were a food, what would it be? Or like, where is this thing located? Things like that. And sometimes the questions you have aren't related to the word at all, and it doesn't help. But anyways, you're going to be giving the spirit a couple of question cards, and then they pick one. And so your team will know what questions is being answered, but the other team doesn't know what the question is. And then the spirit will like write down the answer to the word 1 letter at a time. And so your team can have them stop whenever. So it'll be like T-O. And then they have them stop because they think they know what they're saying. In our case, we had T-O-A and we thought it was toad, but it was actually supposed to be toaster. And so So sometimes like it's way off, and then later on you can have them reveal another letter, and then everyone's like, oh, whoops, we were completely wrong. But anyways, as you get the clues out, like the other team will be seeing some words and be guessing like what the words are, but they don't know what the questions are. So they're thinking, okay, it's something related to this, and then they know what their own questions and answers are, or like parts of the answers. And so you're trying to figure out what the word is, and it works. It's hard, and sometimes we're completely off, but it eventually works, and we were able to, or at least one team was able to guess it before the end of the game each time. So that was fun. I played Agent Decker 3 times. So Agent Decker is a free print and play solo card game. It's actually been re-implemented as a lot of different games that are published, but I played the free print and play version. I actually talked about this on the podcast too, so you can listen to that for more thoughts, but it's fun solo deck building card game where you're a spy, and there's a cool choice between either like flipping a card over or getting it into your deck, because you can flip a card over to make you like not get closer to losing, but then if you take it into your deck gets better, and then you could get closer to losing. So there's a trade-off there, and it's very interesting. But you can listen to the podcast for more information. And I'll probably make a video overview of that game soon. I also played a review copy of Suspects: The MacGuffin Affair, which is a just one case promo pack or something of the game Suspects. So Suspects is a game similar to Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective, which I mentioned earlier in this video. But in this one, there, instead of a book with passages, there's a bunch of different cards. So they had like a map at the beginning, and you're trying to solve a case, and you can go talk to the different cards and the different people. And unlike in Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective, in this one you can actually like read all of the cards and all of the information. In Sherlock Holmes you get negative points, I think, if you have too many leads, like everything you read gets negative points. But in Suspects it's like you just get less points, and they expect you to read all of the cards. So I like that because I like reading all the information. And also the cards have nice art and stuff. So I enjoyed this a lot, and I actually just got a review copy of the main Suspects game, which is going to be like a similar thing and have 3 more cases. But I also talked about Suspects on the podcast. I forget which episode, but I'll tell you here which episode it is. And then I played 2 exit games. So exit games are escape room type games. I talked about these on the podcast too, so you can listen to that. But I love escape room type games. Exit Lord of the Rings and Exit the Professor's Last Riddle, which is the more recent one, but I really liked both of them. The Professor's Last Riddle had some like really interesting puzzles and stuff, and the Lord of the Rings was cool. If you like Lord of the Rings, it like follows the story and stuff. It's pretty neat for a Lord of the Rings fan, which I am. And then I also played Cat in the Box Deluxe Edition, which is a trick-taking card game themed around Schrodinger's cat. It was actually pretty thematic. So like usually in card games you have different suits of cards or different colors, but in this one all of them are the same color, and you have 5 of each number. But then on the board in the middle it shows different colors and different numbers, and when you play your number card you say which color it is. So eventually that board gets filled up, and like if you play a blue one, then there's no more blue one, so no one else can play a blue one. And so that was pretty interesting. And there's also some like area trying to connect up your areas. When you play your card down and put what it is on the board, you want to link up your pieces so that like you have a large linked connection because you can get bonus points for having like a linked connection of cards that you played. So that was interesting, and I really like the theme. And then the last game I'm talking about is Linkee, which is a party trivia game that I didn't really like because this one was more trivia themed. It's basically there's a question card with 4 different questions, and then the answers of those make up a link. But they're all just like regular trivia questions, which I'm not good at. Like I don't know pop things or like pop culture, stuff like that. And so I wouldn't know the answers to any of them, maybe 1 of them or 2 of them. And so it's kind of hard to find the link between the 4 if you don't know any of the answers. So I didn't like that game that much, although I still had fun playing it just because some of it was really funny, and some of them linking the answers, it wasn't even linking the answers, they kind of like went meta on it, and so it was like, wait, what? We're supposed to do that? And so it was just kind of funny playing the game. Alright, and that was all the games I played in April. If I had to pick a favorite new-to-be game, I think it might be Phantom Inc. Although, like, Suspects and the Exit games, it's hard to rank those because those are one-time play, and so those would probably be up there too. But yeah, Phantom Inc. was really fun, and I'm excited to play that more. What were your favorite games you played in April? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like and subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching Board Game Blitz. Bye!